Hello, everybody. Good evening, and welcome back to day two of our college planning family week. Really, really excited that you all can join us again. For those watching the replay, uh, welcome. So last night we kind of did A through Z look at the entire college application process, creating a great profile for colleges, a lot of value, and we are going to be um, putting that on our platform as we enroll you guys into our new platform and put it in. So there's gonna be a lot of college programming and resources available throughout the year that we'll be getting you, but this whole week will be on the platform in the replay section. And so we're joined again tonight by Coach Joe from Gifted Gabber. She was on last night, did an amazing talk about the college profile. And tonight, which I don't know if everyone's here that's interested in it, but we have a lot of future doctors or one of future medical students. And so tonight she's going to talk about building that, how to get into a BSMD profile or a profile in school or college or university. So again, Coach Joe has a program of her own. I'll drop the Pioneer Parents Facebook group link if you want to join. It's a free Facebook group. She has tons of free resources for parents, and we are kind of collabing right now, and she's going to be helping us parents out for the next couple days with the college planning process. So please drop your questions in the chat if you have any. But Coach Joe, all yours.
Yes. Okay, wonderful. You just want to give me the co-host so that I can start sharing?
Yes, no problem. Sorry about that.
No problem. That's okay.
There you go.
Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to talk about the different medical paths, and specifically the BSMD, which is super attractive and makes all sense, right? The beauty about the BSMD program is it's conditional acceptance into the medical school. It is conditional. They do have conditions, but it's still a very, very good option, which any student has to consider if they are very certain if they want to become a doctor, because the medical application process in itself is like a lot of steps and there's a lot of uncertainty. That's what I hear, that they're not very certain that after they do their undergrad they will indeed get into a med school, right? So that is the biggest fear, uncertainty that is there, and this BSMD program to a degree removes that uncertainty. Okay, and I'll show you, but at the same time, it's extremely hard to get in. The acceptance rates are notoriously low. They are like 1 to 5% acceptance rate, because the program is so unique, and the programs need to have like special facilities, professors, medical facilities, and everything to conduct a program like this. And that gets reflected in their exclusivity in the selection. And also a lot of them are doing away with this combined medical program or accelerated medical program. We don't know, because a lot of colleges like Boston University and all these got rid of it. So if any student is at the moment thinking of a medical career, this is exceptionally good. So let me get started. I have a complete presentation. So yeah, this is a very busy season for me. So I was just going to make my students write the University of Alabama supplement. Okay, so I'm just going to go get my presentation. Okay, so here it is. Okay, so it's the BSMD admissions process, but let me tell you something. If you're preparing your profile for BSMD, you are preparing for the pre-med track. It's like trying to scale the Mount Everest, and of course, you're going to reach base camp in this case, which is the pre-med track, right? So I mentioned a bit about me. I'm an immigrant. I studied in India. And when I came here, I was like very frustrated with the lack of clarity in the college admissions process. And I made it my mission to simplify it, just demystify the process. And I'm a Tony Robbins certified life coach. I apply that in my coaching and everything. And I'm also a positive psychology coach, an executive functioning skills coach, which is the prefrontal cortex of the brain. So I teach study skills, time management, executive skills, executive functioning skills, building, everything. And I'm a college counselor from UC Berkeley. And this is my family. My husband did his master's from Harvard, and my oldest son graduated from Georgia Tech. That's why I got into this, because it was extremely frustrating 6 years back when he was applying, looking to build a profile and everything. He's graduated from Georgia Tech. He graduated in 3.5 years with master's. Okay, so let me just skip this over and go straight to the point. Of course, we have, I have an exclusive freebie for BSMD, which I'll share it with Dr. Joe. He will share it with you. So this has been our successes. My students have gotten into Stanford, Johns Hopkins, the UCs, Carnegie Mellon, Cornell, just about any school that you can think about. And specifically BSMD, as you can see, a lot of colleges. I just keep, I'm sorry, I need to update this because of the number of colleges my students have gotten into. This is a combined medical program, right? We have a wide range of colleges that offer that. And my specialty is building that college list and applying for them. Okay. So my students get multiple BSMD offers. Okay, one student got offer from St. Louis and University of Toledo. They're all combined programs. Another got into Drexel, four. Drexel, Hofstra, St. Louis, and University of Toledo. 4 BSMD offers. Another got from St. Louis and Nova Southeastern. I love Nova Southeastern. I'm going to share it. A student who didn't have very good stats, she got into Nova Southeastern with 84K scholarships. I'm going to tell you about the cost of sending a child to a program and how to get those institutional scholarships, which colleges are generous in giving scholarships. And that's the way I build it. Okay. So this is my student Ria Mehta's acceptance. I typically ask my students to pick 3 colleges, and then I help them with the financials. Okay, so if you see here, there's tuition and fee. The room and board is 18 grand in Drexel and Hofstra, whereas St. Louis is much lesser. Then books and supplies, and you can put in travel expenses as well. So it comes up anywhere from $70,000 to $85,000 a year. Okay. But then look at the scholarships that you get. Drexel is not very generous in scholarships. I get kind of mad, right? They have good programs, but they don't give a lot of institutional scholarship. But I love Hofstra. Hofstra also doesn't give, but this student was exceptional. So she got nearly 40K institutional scholarship, which brought her net price to 37K. A year, okay, including room and board and everything. And St. Louis, again, she got 30K scholarship, and it came down to 41. So I promised my parents, or I try to get down to a budget of 35 to 50 in any selective colleges, especially the BSMD program. So this is for the undergrad program. She got into the 4-year program. I'm sorry, the 8-year program. Okay. So in all the colleges, and this is her Hofstra acceptance letter. It's 4+4 BSMD. And I want to tell you the amount of time we spend on the essays and everything, which is super important. And you can see that the admissions officer hand wrote about her essay. Her essay was on Garba because she loved dancing. Garba is like a kind of a dance, which is part of our Indian culture and everything, right? So she wrote, I enjoyed learning about Garba through your essay, and I'm happy that it makes you feel connected to your culture. So this was the handwritten note from Hofstra. And you can see here that she's gotten 38K presidential scholarship, which is 152K for 4 years, okay? So do you want to know the success formula? And I'm going to share it. So I'm going to talk about the basics. You cannot just jump into applying to the BSMD program without knowing what the options are, okay? So you have the different paths. The number one path is the traditional one, which is amazing. I love the traditional path, which is the 4 years of undergrad, after which students write their MCAT and apply to a medical school. So it's 4+4. And typically, the requirements are they need an MCAT score between 508 and 514. If it's like a top tier med school, it'll be 514. The average, they are like 508. They need overall GPA and science GPA, need shadowing experience, clinical experience, research, volunteering experience, and letters of recommendation. I want you to pay attention to this slide very, very closely because it's going to come again. Now, this is a medical college application, but when you're applying to the BSMD program, you're expected to submit everything for in high school to the program because you're applying to the med school as well. You're applying to the undergrad and the MD program all at once after your high school. So all these are expected to be there in a student's profile. Okay. So then there is a program that is in between the 4+4 traditional and the BSMD, which is the early assurance program. They call it EMAP. They call it early medical assurance program. They call it EAP. All those different terminology. Here, what happens is students get into the undergrad. They have an option to apply to the med school after 2 years. Got it? I like this option because students get to test the waters and they get 2 years to explore their maturity grows, their prefrontal cortex of the brain, and then they can finally decide if they really want to be a doctor, right? So this is something in between. And once they get selected, they get into the BSMD program. Okay. Okay, the last one, which is the most interesting one and which everybody wants, is the combined medical program or the accelerated medical program or the direct medical program or the BSMD program. So it's a combination of undergrad and grad all at the same time. Okay. And it allows them to apply for the MD program without a separate admissions process for med school. Okay. And yeah, it's notoriously low. The acceptance rate is between 1 to 5%, almost lower than Stanford, but it is possible to get into these programs. Okay, another option other than BSMD is BSDO. I just love this. My students love it. Please, if ever you go to your primary care physician, ask him or her, what kind of a doctor are they? Are they an MD doctor or a DO? Because my physician, Dr. Calvin, who's amazing, is a DO. Got it? Okay, so DO is Doctor of Osteopathy. Okay, and it's not MD, but it's a very, very good line of medical field. Most of the DO doctors, they come back into the mainstream as family medicine physicians, internal medicine, geriatrics, OBGYN, and pediatrics, okay? Or they stay in their field and become sports doctors, okay? I have a lot of students, they're like, Joe, I'm going to treat basketball players for their injuries and I'm going to be a millionaire. Aww. So that's a very up and coming field that is there. So the main difference between these two is MD is allopathy or medical school or modern medicine. Osteopathy is osteopathic manipulative medicine or OMM, and is also called the osteopathic manipulative treatment. So it's like more spine-based treatment, but it's very, very popular and a very good area to look into. Okay, so what makes a very good BSMD or BSDO profile? This is what we do day in, day out, building profiles and everything. And it's good to start like really early in the 8th or the 9th grade. Okay, so if you're multitasking, please come back because this slide is super important. It just captures everything. This is a 6 key categories, which we have visited in the undergrad, but it gets repeated here. Academics, test score, they need research, community service, that's volunteering, clinical exposure, and a wow factor in the extracurricular activity. That's it. These are the 6 factors. Just like I told you, the 6 factors for success. Six is my lucky number. So that's what it is. This is all you need. Okay, 6 components to build that exceptional pre-med, BSMD med profile. Okay, and I'm going to dig deep into each one of them. So academics, you need extremely good GPA, class rank, IB, and AP courses. That's perfectly fine. Okay, IB courses are preferred. They like the IB curriculum, which is out of the box and quite rigorous. Okay. Next is, this is what I call the golden rectangle. A student has to have chemistry, preferably AP chemistry. Calculus AB is good enough. AP biology and physics. One is sufficient. Okay. Even honors physics is okay, but it's got to be there. Okay. These are the four subjects that you absolutely need to have over 4 years of high school. Okay, and again, they're looking for rigor, course selection, class rank, and everything. The scores that are needed are 1550. These are highly selective schools, and it's not test optional or anything. It's test mandatory. And then they need a ACT score of 34 plus. Okay. Then for the extracurricular activities, it's a combination of the volunteering, shadowing, and research. Okay, so in volunteering, students can volunteer anywhere. The easiest, I wouldn't say the easiest place, the best place to start is hospice cares, the senior citizens' homes and everything that is near your house. You can just go and volunteer there. You will get your hours, okay? And also hospitals. Some of the schools have allied medical program, like I'm in Downingtown. So in Downingtown, we have an allied medical program where high school students in their senior year spend half a day volunteering in a hospital. They go to Paoli Hospital and spend half a day, and that's a wonderful experience. Some schools offer that, some don't, okay? Then shadowing. A lot of kids say, oh my God, I can't find an opportunity to shadow someone. So please don't expect that your child will go into a surgery and give scalpel to the surgeon. That's not what they're looking for. The students can shadow their own pediatrician, physicians. If you can get them, then dentist, chiropractor, or even you're walking around in Walmart, go to their lens store and shadow the optometrist or ophthalmologist, psychiatrist, psychologist, anybody, but they want to see a student having witnessed a place where a medical professional is offering help to the patients. Okay, so it's very, very important. If you don't have shadowing experience, it's very unlikely that your profile will get rejected. Okay. Research is also important. They are looking for a student having done a hypothesis or a deep investigation into a topic that is in the STEM or the biomed field. I offer that. We offer that. We have professors in cancer, neuroscience, infectious diseases, nano, genetics and genomics, reproductive organs that literally work with students to create, to write a research paper, which is 4,000 words. Okay. So the types of research that a student can do is publish a research paper, which we offer, work in a laboratory, which has become very, very hard after the pandemic, and they have age restrictions. Research in a hospital or university, again, is extremely difficult. Okay. Then this is a well-researched, peer-reviewed paper that is there. And I'm just going to quickly go over a resume of a BSMD or BSDO candidate. Okay. So this particular student, she did 3 research, and also please remember that you can embed external links in your resume. A lot of times students don't know that, embedding links. If you see here, she wrote 3 research papers, and you see it got published, and that like enhances a student's profile, which we offer. We show them how to write a research paper and help them publish it. Okay, but we are not allowed to assure them publication, and it's a third party, and it's unethical for me to say that, hey, come to me, I will get your paper published. Okay. So it's the quality of the research and the paper. The student did 3 research papers. Then she had internships, which was research internship. She had lab internship. She had shadowing with a dentist, as you can see here, and in a hospital. Yeah, and she had leadership experience, HOSA. She started a club. She was a captain of a club, extracurricular activities. She had certification, and she knew languages. So this is a profile of a BSMD candidate whose profile we built. Okay. I have to go over the BSMD application. It's not straightforward. Actually, there are three steps. One, you need to submit your application for undergrad, get accepted. Only then you're invited to submit your application for the medical school. Okay, that's a separate application. It's like really hard and complicated, and that is our expertise. And then they invite you to a mini medical interview, which is either by one admission officer or a team of admission officers who will interview you. So if you are invited to Nova Southeastern, I recommend my students to go in person. So they go to Florida to visit the campus and do that. So I prepare students with their elevator pitch, what to speak and everything. And also there's one more exam, which is called the Casper, which is a psychological test. Colleges like Hofstra and Drexel require it. So I prepare my students for that as well. So the question is, have you gained clarity in the BSMD and DO program? Okay. So how do you beat the competition? I told you what it takes is to create a plan to differentiate yourself from others. If it is a 1% acceptance rate college, then you're expected to your profile also to be like that. And that is how you build it, okay? And I just want to share our unique solutions. We have summer research program, which have already closed. But I just want to tell you the philosophy that that we have. There are two professors that they work with. One is the research professor who's a researcher in that field. And then they work with a creative writing professor to write that 4,000 word research paper that has a good quality enough to be published. Okay, so these are all the research that we offer: cancer, neurology, infectious diseases, nanoscience, reproductive organs, AI, ML, genetics, and business. Okay, so we only allow disease modeling for 9th and 10th grade because the rest of the programs are students have to do AP biology. I can share our brochure as well. This is Dr. Kate. She's a full biology professor at Bethel University. She teaches infectious diseases. Okay, this is Professor Christina. She is a professor from Arizona State University in nanoscience. This is Professor Saba. She is the AI professor from University of Maryland. This is Professor Virgil. He's a creative writer. Professor Kate, she's also a creative writer. And all our programs are available on giftedgabber.com. And we offer BSMD counseling. We will start this in fall. We have one-on-one or group counseling. Any of them are available. And the thing that we focused on is counseling for rising seniors. That's what we have. We've almost closed our program. And what's included in the program? Pretty much the kitchen sink. There's so much. And it's a year-long program where we help them with the college applications, interviews, and then selecting the colleges, making the decisions and everything. Okay, of course, all these steps are included. And in the BSMD counseling, we have 5 BSMD colleges that we apply to and 2 BSDO. All the BSMD applications, resume, mini medical interview preparation is all included. And the benefits are it's a structured program, there's accountability, there's expert guidance, brainstorming exercise, and process to increase acceptance and scholarships. Okay. So yeah, I sent over this Duke's acceptance letter where the admission committee says that they were impressed by the innovative projects and research prowess. So our research program has been very successful. And our students have got full tuition into Johns Hopkins, St. Bonaventure, a lot of colleges. Okay, you can schedule a call with me or join my BSMD webinar. And yeah, we have a Research 100 that you can use while enrolling in our program. And of course, you get the scholarship guide. Okay, any questions, let me know.
Hey, thank you. So that was awesome. So we have a few people still with us. I know some people watching the replay, but if you're here specifically for your child potentially going into a BSMD program or even just wanted to be in the medical field, are there any questions on that that can answer? I'm gonna start. If you want to put in a chat, if you don't want to unmute yourself, totally okay. But so do you? So the biggest difference between just going in pre-med, not having BSMD versus BSMD is more of the streamlined alignment.
That's correct. That's correct.
Okay.
So the MD application process is extremely rigorous. You have to use this portal called AMCAAS. Okay, and there's no guarantee that you'll get into med school. Get it? So if it's much better to try. I mean, you'll try everywhere, every time, but this is a very like impressive program that every student should at least apply.
Okay. Um, and the BSMD programs, they also take AP credits, correct? Or is that
Absolutely. The undergrad, even though it's a BSMD, you can shave off 1 year or however it is with the number of APs that is there. So one of my son's classmate went to Penn. I know that very closely. She graduated with 19 APs and she was able to transfer a lot of credits in the Penn BSMD program.
very nice, very nice.
Yeah.
Okay. So any questions for Coach Joe? We're gonna probably sign off a little early today. We're gonna come back. What are we doing tomorrow?